afternoon, sir. Need to see some ID and your driver's license. This car matches a stolen vehicle report.
Do you even know who I am?
I don't care who you are. Hand me your license right now or you're going to have a bigger problem on your hands.
Bigger problem, huh? You see that? I'm the police captain. Your career is over.
The body camera footage would later show exactly what happened that March 12th, 2023, just outside Atlanta, Georgia. A bright afternoon, quiet streets, sunlight glinting off parked cars. A black man sits calmly inside his sedan parked along a residential curb. Moments later, a young white officer walks up, confident, stern, hand resting near his holster. He says the car matches a description of a stolen vehicle and demands ID. The man replies calmly, "Officer, I've done nothing wrong." The officer's tone sharpens, his voice rising, threats spilling out. When the driver still refuses, the officer reaches for his weapon. That's when a man in the car slowly pulls something from his pocket, a police badge. He looks the officer in the eye and says, "I'm Captain Raymond Cole, Atlanta PD, and your career just ended." What happened next will expose the department's training failure and change one rookie's life forever. Before we continue, where are you watching from? If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Stories like these need to be shared, and your support helps us bring more truth to light. March 12th started like any other Sunday in the Cascade Heights neighborhood of Atlanta. Captain Raymond Cole, a 22-year veteran of the Atlanta Police Department, had just finished a morning workout at his local gym. Still in civilian clothes, a simple gray polo and jeans, he pulled his unmarked gray sedan to the curb outside his sister's house. He was early. She wasn't home yet, so he waited, engine off, windows down, scrolling through his phone. The street was peaceful. Kids on bikes in the distance, a dog barking somewhere. The kind of Atlanta suburb where nothing ever really happens until it did. At 2:47 p.m., Officer Ethan Ward patrol car rounded the corner. Ward was 24 years old, 6 months out of the academy. Eager, ambitious, the kind of rookie who listened to police scanner chatter even on his days off. That morning, Dispatch had put out a BOLO. Be on the lookout for a stolen gray sedan. Last seen somewhere in the metro area. Details were vague, make and model uncertain, but Ward had been listening, and when he saw Cole's car, something clicked in his mind. His dash cam footage shows him slowing down, circling the block once, then pulling up behind a parked sedan. He radios in, voice steady with manufactured confidence. "Dispatch, this is Unit 47. I've got a possible stolen gray sedan. Georgia plates occupied by one male. Running a check now." Dispatch responds, "Copy that, 47. Stand by." Ward doesn't wait. He steps out of his vehicle, adjusting his belt, squaring his shoulders. His body camera activates automatically. The view is chest level, slightly bouncing as he walks. His breathing is audible, quick, shallow, adrenaline. He approaches the driver's side window. The man inside doesn't look up right away. He's calm. Too calm, Ward thinks. Suspicious. Ward taps on the glass with 2 fingers. "Afternoon, sir." The man looks up. He's in his mid-40s, clean-cut, salt and pepper beard. His expression is neutral, patient. "Afternoon, officer." The man says, "Can I see your license and registration?" The man tilts his head slightly. "Is there a reason you're stopping me?" "I'm parked." Ward stiffens. He doesn't like the question. It feels like a challenge. This vehicle matches a description of a stolen car, reported earlier. License and registration now. The man inside exhales slowly. He doesn't reach for his glove box. He doesn't move at all. "Officer," he says, his tone measured, "I haven't done anything wrong. This is my car. I'm sitting here waiting for my sister." Ward's jaw tightens. His hand drifts toward his holster, not grabbing it, just resting near it. A gesture, a signal. "Sir, I'm not going to ask you again. And I'm not going to comply with an illegal stop." The words hang in the air. Word's pulse quickens. He's been trained for this non-compliance. He thinks defiance. He circles around in front of the car, eyes scanning the interior, looking for something, anything. The man inside remains perfectly still. Ward's radio crackles. Dispatch comes back. Unit 47. No match on those plates. Registered owner, is a Raymond Cole. Atlanta address. No warrants. Ward ignores it. Or maybe he doesn't hear it clearly. He's too focused now, too invested. He returns to the driver's side window, leaning in closer. Step out of the vehicle. I'm not stepping out. I've done nothing wrong. You're refusing a lawful order. This isn't a lawful order. You have no probable cause. Ward's face flushes. His voice rises. Don't tell me how to do my job. A neighbor across the street opens her front door, phone in hand. She starts recording. The man in the car sees her. He doesn't acknowledge her, but he knows she's there. Witnesses matter. Ward sees her, too. It makes him angrier. Sir, if you don't comply right now, I will forcibly remove you from this vehicle. The man meets his eyes through the window. His voice is calm, dangerously calm. Officer, you're making a mistake. The only mistake here is yours. Ward steps back, hand now fully on his holster. Last chance. Get out. Silence. Then slowly, the man reaches for the door handle. The car door opens. The man steps out, hands visible, movement slow and deliberate. He's taller than Ward expected. 6 feet 2 inches, solid build, the kind of presence that fills space without trying. Ward takes a half step back, hand still on his weapon. Hand where I can see him. Ward says, voice tight. They are where you can see them. The man replies. Turn around, hands on the vehicle. The man doesn't move. He just stands there looking at Ward. Not defiant, not scared, just waiting. Did you hear me? Ward snaps. I heard you. Then do it. A beat. The man sigh. You really don't want to do this. Do what? My job. No. Ruin your career. Ward's face twists. He hears arrogance, entitlement, everything he was taught to push back against. The kind of person who thinks they're above the law. Turn around. The man finally complies, placing his hands lightly on the roof of the car, but his posture is wrong. Not submissive, not tense, just tolerant. Ward moves in, reaching for his cuffs. You're being detained for failure to comply with a lawful. This isn't lawful. The man interrupts, his voice still calm. And you know it. I said what you said doesn't matter if it's not legal. Ward's hand shakes. He's never had someone talk to him like this. Correct him. Lecture him. He grabs a man's wrist, pulling it behind his back. You have the right to... I know my rights, officer. Do you know yours? The question stops Ward cold. There's something in the man's tone. Not anger, not fear. Something else. Something that makes Ward's stomach turn. He hesitates. The neighbor across the street is still filming. Her phone is raised high, angle clear. Ward can see her in his peripheral vision. He releases the man's wrist. Stay right there, Ward says, stepping back. He pulls out his radio. Dispatch! I need a supervisor at my location now. Copy 47. What's the situation? Ward pauses. He doesn't know how to answer that. He's supposed to say suspect in custody or traffic stop or something procedural. But this doesn't feel like any of those things. Just send someone, he says. The man turns around slowly, hands still visible. You call for a supervisor. Good. That's the first smart thing you've done today. Ward's face burns. You think you're clever? I think you're out of your depth. Who the hell do you think you are? The man's expression doesn't change. But something shifts in his eyes. A flicker of something. Pity maybe or disappointment. That's the question, isn't it? He says quietly. Ward doesn't understand. He's losing control of the situation, and he knows it. His training is screaming at him. Secure the suspect. Maintain authority. Control the scene. But nothing is working. The man isn't acting like a suspect. He's acting like someone who knows exactly what's happening. And that terrifies Ward more than anything. Turn back around, Ward says, trying to regain his footing. Hands on the car. We're done with that. You don't get to decide when we're done. Actually, his tone sharpens for the first time. I do. The standoff stretches. Seconds feel like minutes. Ward's mind races. This was supposed to be simple. A stolen car. A routine stop. A chance to prove himself. But now it's spiraling. The neighbor is filming. The man is defiant. His supervisor is coming. And Ward has no idea what to say when they arrive. The man seems to read his mind. You can still walk this back, he says quieter now. Apologize. Say it was a misunderstanding. Move on. Ward's pride flares. I'm not apologizing for doing my job. Then you're not doing your job. You're abusing your authority. I'm not. You pulled me over for no reason. You demanded ID without cause. You threatened me with arrest for refusing an illegal order. And now you're standing here, hand on your weapon, acting like I'm the criminal. The words land like punches. Ward wants to argue, wants to defend himself, but the truth is sitting heavy in his chest. He doesn't have a good answer. The car matched a description, he says weakly. What description? Make, model, color? Did you even ask dispatch for specifics? Ward says nothing. You didn't, did you? You saw a black man in a gray car and decided that was enough. That's exactly what happened. The neighbor's phone is still recording. Ward can feel it, the weight of the lens, the permanence of the moment. He wants to leave, wants to get back in his patrol car and drive away. Pretend this never happened. But he can't because the man is still standing there watching him, waiting. Who are you? Ward asks finally, his voice barely above a whisper. The man reaches into his pocket. Ward's hand flies to his holster. Don't relax, he says, moving slowly. You wanted ID. Here it is. He pulls something out. Not a wallet, not a driver's license. A badge. Gold heavy engraved. Ward's breath catches. The man holds it up, letting the sunlight catch the metal. Captain Raymond Cole, he says, his voice cold and steady. Atlanta Police Department, badge number 4076. Ward's world stops. For a moment, neither of them moves. Ward stares at the badge, then at the man holding it, then back at the badge. His mouth opens. No sound comes out. Captain Cole lowers the badge, slipping it back into his pocket. His eyes never leave Ward's face. So, Cole says, his voice quiet but sharp, do you still want to arrest me? Ward's hand drops from his holster. His face has gone pale. Sir, I didn't know. You didn't know? Cole repeats, the words heavy with meaning. You didn't know because you didn't ask. You didn't check. You didn't think the car the description. There was no description that matched my car. You heard gray sedan on the scanner and saw me sitting here and made an assumption. Ward's throat tightens. He can feel the weight of it now. The magnitude of what he's done. Captain, I'm sorry. You threatened your commanding officer. You demanded I comply with an illegal stop. You put your hand on your weapon. You treated me like a criminal. I didn't mean, what you meant doesn't matter. What you did matters. The neighbor across the street is still filming. Her phone captures every second. Ward can see her out of the corner of his eye, and the realization hits him like a freight train. This is on camera. All of it. His career. 6 months of pride and ambition, and proving himself is on camera being dismantled in real time. Sir, I didn't know who you were. And if I wasn't a captain, if I was just a civilian, would that make what you did okay? Ward has no answer. That's the problem. You think the badge makes a difference. You think because I have authority, this is a bigger deal. But it shouldn't be. You shouldn't treat anyone the way you just treated me. The words settle like stones. A patrol car turns a corner. Ward's supervisor arriving on scene. Captain Cole sees it. He steps back from his car. Hands still visible, body language deliberately non-threatening. He's been on the other side of this too many times. He knows how to de-escalate. Sergeant Linda Martinez steps out of her vehicle, eyes sweeping the scene. She's been on the force for 15 years, seen everything. And the moment she sees Cole, her face changes. Captain, she says confused. Sergeant Martinez, he says, his tone professional now, formal. Your officer here initiated a stop on my vehicle without probable cause, demanded my identification without legal grounds, and threatened me with arrest when I refused to comply with his illegal orders. Martinez's eyes snap to Ward. Her expression hardens. Ward, what the hell did you do? Ward can't speak. His throat has closed up. Cole continues, his voice steady. I need you to file an official report. I want this documented. Body camera footage, dash cam, everything. Yes, sir. Martinez says immediately. She turns to Ward, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. Get in your vehicle now. Don't say another word. Ward stumbles toward his patrol car, legs shaking. Martinez approaches Cole, her face a mixture of anger and embarrassment. Captain, I am so sorry. I don't know what he was thinking. He wasn't thinking. That's the problem. He glances toward the neighbor who's still recording. He gives her a small nod. Acknowledgement, gratitude, even evidence. Martinez follows his gaze. She sees a phone. Her jaw tightens. This is going to be a mess, she mutters. It already is, he says. He walks back to his car, opens the door, and sits in the driver's seat. He doesn't drive away. Not yet. He just sits there, hands on the steering wheel, staring straight ahead. 22 years on the force. 2 decades of service. Community outreach programs. Mentoring young officers. Training seminars on bias and de-escalation. And still he gets stopped. Still he gets questioned. Still he has to prove he belongs. His phone buzzes. A text from his sister. Running late. Be there in 10 o'clock. He doesn't respond. He just sits there breathing slowly, letting the adrenaline drain out of his system. Behind him, Sergeant Martinez is on her radio calling it in. The body camera footage will be uploaded within the hour. Internal Affairs will be notified by end of day. And somewhere across the street, a neighbor's phone is already uploading a video to social media. By tomorrow morning, the world will know what happened here. The video goes viral in less than 12 hours. Rookie cop threatens black police captain during routine stop. 6 million views by Monday morning, 10 million by Tuesday. News outlets pick it up. Local first, then national. CNN runs a segment. Fox News brings in pundits. Social media explodes. The Atlanta Police Department scrambles. Internal Affairs opens an investigation within 24 hours. Officer Ethan Ward is placed on administrative leave, pending review. The body camera footage is analyzed frame by frame. Statements are taken. Protocols are reviewed. The mayor's office releases a statement. We are deeply troubled by the incident involving Captain Raymond Cole and Officer Ethan Ward. The Atlanta Police Department is committed to transparency and accountability. A full investigation is underway and appropriate action will be taken. Captain Cole says nothing publicly. He shows up for work Monday morning. Same as always. Sits at his desk, reviews reports, answers emails. Colleagues avoid eye contact in the hallways, unsure what to say. Some officers are angry. Angry at Ward for embarrassing the department, for making them all look bad. Others are defensive of a rookie who made a mistake, who was just trying to do his job. And some quietly are grateful that someone finally said what needed to be said, that the problem isn't just one bad officer, it's the system that trained him. By Wednesday, the pressure becomes too much. The department schedules a press conference. Chief of Police Marcus Thompson stands at a podium. Cameras flashing, reporters shouting questions. We have completed our preliminary review, Thompson says, his voice measured. Officer Ward's actions were inconsistent with our training and policies. He initiated a stop without reasonable suspicion, escalated the situation unnecessarily, and failed to exercise appropriate judgment. A reporter shouts, "Would he be fired?" Thompson pauses. Officer Ward has been suspended without pay pending the conclusion of the investigation. Disciplinary action will follow. Another reporter, has Captain Cole made a statement? Captain Cole has declined to comment publicly, but he has cooperated fully with the investigation. Is this about race? The question hangs in the air. Thompson takes a breath. This is about an officer who saw a black man in a car and made assumptions. We can call it implicit bias. We can call it poor training. We can call it whatever we want. But yes, race was a factor and we have to own that. The press conference ends. The news cycle continues. Civil rights organizations demand systemic reform. Community activists organize rallies. Online petitions circulate calling for Ward's termination. And through it all, Captain Raymond Cole remains quiet until the department asks him to speak. 3 weeks after the incident, Cole agrees to sit down for an interview with the department's public affairs team. It will be recorded, edited, released strategically. The interviewer is careful, respectful. Captain Cole, thank you for sitting down with us. Can you walk us through what you were thinking during the stop? Cole leans back in his chair. He's in uniform now. Crisp, professional, the weight of his rank visible on his shoulders. I was thinking, he says slowly, that I've been here before. Not in this exact situation, but close enough. I knew what was happening. I knew how it would end if I reacted the wrong way. You stayed calm. I stayed alive, Cole corrects. There's a difference. The interviewer shifts uncomfortably. What do you want people to understand about what happened? Cole looks directly at the camera. I don't want Officer Ward to be the villain in this story. He's not. He's a symptom. The real problem is the system that taught him to see me as a threat before he saw me as a person. Do you think he should be fired? I think he should be trained. Really trained. Not just taught how to write tickets and make arrests. Taught how to see people, how to question his assumptions, how to recognize when his fears are rational. And if he can't learn that, Cole's expression hardens, then he has no business wearing a badge. The interview ends. The footage is edited into a 3-minute segment and released on the department's social media channels. It gets 2 million views in the first day. Comments pour in, some supportive, some angry, some disbelieving. One comment reads, "If this can happen to a captain, imagine what happens to the rest of us." Another, "This is why people don't trust cops." And another, "Captain Cole is a better man than I would have been." Officer Ethan Ward watches the video from his apartment. He's been off the force for a month now, suspended indefinitely. His friends have stopped calling. His family doesn't know what to say. He watches Captain Cole speak, watches him advocate for training, not termination, watches him take the high road. And Ward realizes maybe for the first time the depth of what he took from that man. Not just his dignity, not just his peace, his safety. Ward sits in the dark staring at the screen and wonders if he can ever come back from this. 6 months later, Officer Ethan Ward officially resigns from the Atlanta Police Department. There's no ceremony, no goodbye party, just a brief email to Human Resources and a return badge and service weapon. The department accepts his resignation without comment. Ward doesn't speak to the press, doesn't issue a statement. He just disappears. Some say he moved out of state. Others say he went back to school. No one knows for sure. And frankly, most people stop caring. Captain Raymond Cole, meanwhile, gets promoted. Not immediately. Not as some kind of PR stunt. But 6 months after the incident, when the deputy chief position opens up, Cole's name is at the top of the list. He accepts, and the first thing he does in his new role is overhaul the department's training program. He brings in outside consultants, psychologists, civil rights experts, former officers who left the force because of the very issues Cole is trying to fix. Together, they design a new curriculum. It's not just about de-escalation tactics or implicit bias workshops, though those aren't part of it. It's about something deeper. Empathy. Understanding that the person on the other side of the badge is someone's father, someone's son, someone's friend. That fear can make you see threats where there are none. That power without accountability is just tyranny in uniform. The program launches in January 2024. Every rookie goes through it. Every veteran is required to retrain. Some officers resist. They call it soft. They say it's unnecessary, that it coddles criminals and makes cops second-guess themselves. But Cole doesn't budge. If you can't see the humanity in the people you're sworn to protect, then you shouldn't be here, he tells a room full of skeptical officers. The resistance fades slowly, not because people suddenly agree, but because the culture shifts. New rookies come in with different expectations. Body cameras become standard. Accountability becomes a norm, not the exception, and the community starts to notice. Complaints against officers drop by 18% in the first year. Use of force incidents decline. Community trust, measured by surveys and town halls, begins to climb. It's not perfect. It's not fixed, but it's better. One afternoon, almost a year after the incident, Captain Cole, now Deputy Chief Cole, is sitting in his office when there's a knock on the door. "Come in," he says, not looking up from his paperwork. The door opens. A young officer steps inside, nervous, holding a folder. "Sir, I want to thank you, the officer says. Cole looks up. He doesn't recognize the kid. Fresh out of the academy. Probably. For what? Cole asks. For the training program, the stuff on bias and assumptions. It made me realize some things about myself. Things I didn't want to see. Cole sets down his pen. Like what? He asks. The officer hesitates. Like how easy it is to see what you expect to see instead of what's actually there? Cole nods slowly. That's a hard lesson. Yeah, but I'm glad I learned it now instead of ruining someone's life. The officer swallows. Yeah. Cole stands, walking around his desk. He extends his hand. Keep learning. Keep questioning yourself. That's the job. The officer shakes his hand, relief flooding his face. Yes, sir. As the officer leaves, Cole sits back down, staring at the closed door. He thinks about Ethan Ward sometimes. Wonders where he is. Wonders if he learned anything. He hopes so, because at the end of the day, Cole doesn't want revenge. He doesn't want apologies. He just wants a world where a black man can sit in his car, minding his own business, without being seen as a threat. That's the goal. It's not complicated, but somehow it's still the hardest thing to teach. The body camera footage from that day in March 2023 is now used in police minds across the country, not as a cautionary tale about what not to do, though it is that, but as a case study in what happens when bias goes unchecked, when training fails, when power is misused. The footage ends with Captain Cole holding up his badge, and every time it's shown, instructors pause the video there and ask the same question. What if he wasn't a captain? What if he was just a man? The answer, of course, is that it shouldn't matter. But it does. And until it doesn't, stories like this will keep happening. The question is, what are we going to do about it? If this story made you think, hit that like button. If it made you uncomfortable, share it. And if you want to see more stories that matter, subscribe. Because the truth doesn't go viral by accident. It goes viral because people like you decide it's worth spreading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.